Today I have an amazing topic. Before we proceed, just subscribe into my channel for you to get new updates and new videos. Today is all about ways in which we should use to humble ourselves before God. Having said that, we will just rush into our topic. We'll be touching on 12 ways on how to humble ourselves before God. We'll be touching those points one by one. To start with, we are going to start with way number one. Way number one is by confessing our sins to God. That one you can get it from Luke chapter 18, 9 to 14. All of us have sinned and fall short of glory of God. So we should have a rigorous self-examination through review of our heart and behaviors, and we should frequently repent our sins. Method number two is by acknowledging our sins to others. That one you can get it from James chapter 3 verse 2. Humility before God is not complete unless there is also humility to man. We should share with each other our weaknesses and strength. Way number three is by taking wrongly patiently. That is from the 1 Peter chapter 3, 8 to 17. We should be patient when responding to unjust accusation and treatment from our friends, neighbors, and enemies. From this, you can get an example of Jesus. He took patiently when people treated her badly. When he was arrested, he did not fight back. So we should develop that attitude by taking wrongly patient, for we are not fighting against our fellow human beings, but we are fighting against principalities of darkness. So to point number four, actively submit to authority. That is from 1 Peter chapter 2 to 18. We should submit to those who are in power, for God is the one who has placed them in the authority. So to point number five, receive correction and feedback from others. That is from Proverbs chapter 10 verse 17. Also Proverbs 12 verse 1. So he is in the way of life, that person who keepeth instruction. But the one who refuses reproof do what we call error. So to point number six, accept a role he plays. That is Proverbs chapter 25 to 6. We should not be in that mood whereby we should be doing things to be seen by others, but we should accept a lowly place so that we can avoid what we call pride. For pride made an angel look like Satan. So you have really to adhere to this one to avoid what we call pride, for pride is enmity with God. Point number seven, purposely associate with people of lower state. That is Luke chapter 3, 36 to 39. We should look for associating with those of a lowly class. We should also uplift them. So this one you can find it in the book of Luke, where Jesus was associating with the sick, was associating also with the poor people and the weak one. So we should follow the same way as a form of humility. To point number eight, choose to serve others. That one you can get it from Philippians chapter 1 to verse 1, 2 Corinthians chapter 4 to 5. We serve others. By so doing, we serve God's purpose in their life. Also, Jesus washed his disciples' feet, so we should serve others. Point number 9, be quick to forgive. That is Matthew chapter 18, 21 to 35. To forgive is to acknowledge a wrong that has been done to you, and also to release that urge for repaying for the wrong. So we should be forgiving at least 7 times 77. That makes 490 times. So we should be quick to forgive others. To point number 10, cultivate a grateful heart. That one from the 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 to 18. The more we develop an attitude of gratitude for the gift of salvation, the more we humble before God. Point number 11, purpose to speak well to others. That is from Ephesians chapter 4, 31 to 32. We should beauty each other, and we are called to love one another and be each one another's keeper. Point number 12, treat pride as a condition that embraces the cross. That is from Luke chapter 9 to 23. We should be proud of the lifestyle of daily dying to ourselves and living through Him is the foundation for the true immunity. That marks the end of our topic today. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe into my channel for you to get more videos. Thank you.